Hey guys, my name is Helium Lemon 15, and this is the Hill of Difficulty. We're starting right off with one of these enemies, the dreaded flower thing with the mask. Very evil. It's actually a very cool enemy design. I like it. I like pretty much all of Scott's enemy designs in this game, and this one especially feels very cool. It feels like something out of a Edgar Allan Poe story or something. I was just reading the Gareth Hines graphic novel of Edgar Allan Poe. Gareth Hines is like the artist who's done graphic novels on like Shakespeare and Odyssey. I remember reading his version of the Odyssey in high school because it made it more bearable for me because we all had to read the Odyssey in high school. There's a wounded man behind that cliff there. Like if you scroll far enough to the right, you'll see like a platform poking out. That's just bad enemy placement. You're trying to jump over him, and of course he gets you when you're still standing on the ledge. So these snares, or roses, or Venus flytraps, or whatever you want to call them, evil plants, you want to hit him with faith, like a good 3 or 4 times, maybe less if you're more powerful. But they will get you with the doubt and the chains and the confusion, so your defense will be down and your speed will drop, and they have really high speed. And it's just so annoying. The fights go on for forever when they really don't have that much HP, and if you're strong enough, you can knock them out in 2-3 hits easily. So there are some fellow travelers on this. The platforming in this is so stupid. A man named Moses beat me and left me for dead on this hill. He shows no mercy. Let's help him out. I fell asleep for a while, and now I don't know which way to go. Help him out. Give this kid some food. Some rotisserie chicken. This is a place to rest, but many fall asleep and lose their way. All sleep is good. Platforming. No. I should turn back. This is too difficult. I hear there's a place of rest at the top of this hill. I'm an old man, and I can only do one old man voice. No, not really. Yeah, this guy got my goat. As you can see, Christian has become too discouraged to continue, but with God, all things are possible, so let's get right back into it. Starting from, let's see, not quite the beginning, and now right after we die, we have some temporary stat boosts, and we can get this guy in 2 hits. If only all of them were that easy. What's this girl have to say? I hear that there are lions that guard the house beautiful. Well, there are, but you haven't quite met them yet. This man with a hat. It's William Afton, oh my god. I should stop making that joke every time I see him. Back here, I think some of these kind of doors go in circles. It's very confusing, that's why it's the Hill of Difficulty. I like the background, the way it feels like a hill that's kind of constantly going up, even though it's a totally flat perspective. Oh yeah, we're definitely back at the beginning. And we completed that quest, and we'll give this girl our cafeteria lunch. We got the pizza is in the shape of a rectangle. It's the bread-tangle. Yeah, not much else to say about the Hill of Difficulty. You just, the Interpreter's challenge is to climb up this hill without falling and only using faith on the snare enemies. And I've tried it many times, and even like when I've done it successfully, I can't figure out what gets the game to like recognize that I've done it. So that was a little secret. We drop down into this area and we find a flower. I don't remember what the flowers are for. See how they slow you down so badly so that they get 3 turns for every 1 turn that you have. It's like atrocious. Come on, Scott. Make good games, Scott. This is atrocious. I cannot handle it. So basically cutting to the end. Yeah, because we were here before. We saw that girl. And we came up here. And we saw William Maffin. And if you go to the right, this is the very end of the Hill of Difficulty. Let's fast forward through this battle, because just, got us confused, got us acting unwise. Is that still a meme? The whole, like, got me acting unwise thing? It's so stupid. I wish I could reach the top and have fellowship with other pilgrims. I like that line, that's poignant. Here's your apple and bag of goldfish. Do not be afraid of the lions, they are chained. They are there to test your faith. Those aren't lions. Those look more like Cerberus sort of dogs. That's a really beautiful house in the background. I know it kind of looks like, you know, the typical, like, stock image church that you get on, like, a pamphlet about Christianity. But it's still, like, really pretty. I like the kind of shape of it. I mean, I like Gothic churches, which are a little bit more stark and are more, like, squares and triangles. That one's kind of very much like U's and arches and semicircles. But... oh, yeah. So we have different types of people to help in this game. And if you see a redhead, I'll explain it better later. It's really weird to explain. I like the moon outside the windows. I like the moon a lot. Especially like sort of poor quality 3D render moon. I've just been following like a lot of cool art accounts on Instagram that do like 3D or just like collage art and surreal art. It's like such good vibes. I love anything just pretty to look at and anything that's sort of like out of the ordinary. Yeah, so there's two ways to get like this sort of glowing spirit effect, and one is like right after you die to an enemy, and one is if you pray in one of those glowy spots. And of course these temporary effects will wear off after one battle. But if you approach one of these redheads, it will say, what, guide a pilgrim? Guide a lost... it's not a lost soul. We're gonna see a lost soul at the end of the video, and I'll explain what that is. But yeah, and this game just has like a lot of like little random ways to get experience points and solve quests. And they're just really kind of random, pointless RNG sort of things. Anybody who's read, what is it, the book of Ephesians? Or is it Philippians? Or is it Galatians? Should know this passage about put on the armor of God. The shoes, the swift shoes of the gospel. No. The helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness, the sword of the Spirit. The feet fitted with the gospel of peace. I think that's what the scripture is. Yeah. I used to be a Christian. I mean, I still sort of am. I'm not sure what I am. So, we'll talk about that. I just really like Scott's games, and I really like, you know, I like Christian literature, and I like classic literature, and I like Scott's games, the sort of like cheesy 3D style of them. So, you know, for anybody is wondering, hey, why are you playing this if you're not a Christian? And you know, I get a lot of like enjoyment out of it because I know all the references, and I did grow up going to church and reading the Bible, so So here's a Soul Claimer. This next area is called the Valley of Humiliation. It's kind of like, it feels very Greek. There's a lot of columns everywhere. This guy's sort of like a court jester. Gesture or jester? Well, I meant to say jester. I like his design a lot. I like the sort of uncanny animation on his fingers. He just feels very inhuman, like somewhere between a human and a robot. And I mean, or a puppet and a robot, I was about to say, because this guy is very puppet-esque, very marionette-esque. So what was he weak to? Was he weak to Grace? Grace or Promise? Promise is doing 100, 110 on average damage. I should say 115 on average damage. Yes, I can. Okay, that just brought the average down. So 112.5 average, roughly. And here are all these statues, and there's these sort of intimidating statues. They're these very sad statues. It's sort of like brutalism. It's like we wandered past the Berlin Wall. Now we're in a communist country. I don't know. Not everything is about communism. Like everything today is like it's like, oh, are you liberal? Oh, are you communist? Oh, are you socialist? It's like, you gotta be socialist if you're going to college. It's like, cool. I mean, I'm not sure what I am. I'm not very political though. But if you hit me with a good argument for socialism, I think I could probably get on your side. I don't know, I just stay away from politics most of the time. So speaking of RNG, oh, and I see a redhead on the screen underneath the battle. Every once in a while we'll get a tormented soul, which is like this enemy has somehow trapped like a crying child, and you have to beat the enemy in order to free the child. It's like very sad, it's very dark, but this is a game about Christianity after all, so it's gonna have a little bit of darkness and depression and soul-claiming shit in here. These enemies are like twice as tough, so these fights take quite a while, and thank me later, but I put this one on 1.5 speed. So we're getting close to the end of this video here. It's mid-October, which is always a good time of year. Thank God. Okay, we're done with that. And that child is happy to be rescued from that situation. And now what? Oh, we're giving the guy his medicine. Okay. So he's on this ledge. Oh no, he's not on that ledge. I was mistaken. It's like he's on one of these ledges, and not on that ledge. That isn't even a ledge. Here we go. I see it poking out. Thank you for remembering me. I pray that your blessings last longer. So we get the blue cross, which means our blessings last longer. So that's it for this episode of Pilgrim's Progress. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for tuning in.